even the sheep-minded who's still democratic, but it's able to still be light because it has ascended. And therefore, boom, you know what I'm saying? They're able to use Trump to change the narrative to have even the sheep-minded who's still democratic be more Republican. So they create a whole bunch of narratives through the democratic system to make everybody with common sense dislike the democratic system, to change over the Republican system. But don't think this is not orchestrated. See, this is where religious people get retarded and atheists get retarded. That's orchestrated. That's not, oh, you trying to convince people that we all need to vote for Trump and be Republican now, or you convincing people why the Democrats is for us. You still the sheep mind. When you really with God, that's why I don't be believing no Christian theologian apologetics on the internet, because they stupid. When you really with God, God show you all that shit is bullshit, and then God will show you that all of that is a narrative. So you get out of the conspiracy aspect of it and be able, and God will give you the right knowledge to be able to intellectualize it. So if an atheist listening, let me take away that what I just said. God will give you the intellect. You will have the intellect to be able to convey it without it being a conspiracy theorist. And you'll be able to have more correspondences where you stand corrected as a starting point. For an example, we know no one voted for Joe Biden. PS Xbox 5, 3X, 2000 plus X, right? On that video game. So we know nobody voted for that Xbox, right? Yet, he was still the president. So when we all complain, we utilize their devices to express what we're all giving attention to. All complaining, a large mass of people complaining, why did Trump win? And a large mass is complaining that nobody gives a fuck. And there was on the fence anyway, picking one lesser than the other. So for the most part, they like, okay, what we doing is working, but we need them to get a little bit more into the Republican energy, because the Republican energy is going to allow us to have certain stipulations in the Constitution and other different things for us to move along with other things that other individuals are distracted from, based upon celebrity gossip and shit like that, and Kanye West. So it'll be other shit going on. And the best way I can explain it is like this. They rocked y'all smooth to sleep with Trump. Remember when Trump was expressing, oh, we need to look in Hillary Clinton's emails. Oh, we need to know what's this 501c plan that fucking Biden got and things of that nature. PX, Xbox, 5, Dreamcast. Yeah, I gotta say that, dog, because the transcript. This is supporting live. Remember that? Right? Now, here's the thing. Now, we got distracted so much with 5G, vaccine, PS, Xbox 5, PlayStation, Dreamcast 2000, right? To the point that we don't even remember the last distraction, right? But what's the common denominator? What's the equilibrium, right? You no longer hear them talking about that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? You no longer hear them talking about that shit no more. So for the most part, that lets you know that they're sitting around distracting you, right? And now you no longer hear about Obama 501c plan or Hillary Clinton email. We're left arguing with each other because we're the sheep mind. And Gematria flunked out mine in the wrong way, right? But guess what happened behind closed doors that you probably unaware of? And you probably think it's to more of your convenience, because that's how they create all the witchcraft. They make it seem like it's something more in your convenience, and then you end up lacking a mental stability of how to go about something. Same way we can't remember phone numbers no more, right? Guess what happened? Tell me why you need 5 different other ways to get in your email and your other inboxes now. That shit didn't start until then. Now, in your dumbass mind, you might be like, oh, not a security level. Yeah, I'm an atheist. No, I'm a theologian. I'm an atheist. No, this for more security. Oh, this, that. You might think that. No, you allowed a law to be presented that was against you, but since you voted for it, you thought it was for you because their puppet that they used, Trump at the time, made you fight a false war that was really a secret war behind closed doors against you. So now we no longer hear about 501c plans from Obama or hidden email messages of Hillary Clinton. But guess what we do see every day? You having a problem having a sufficient 501c plan. And you having a motherfucking problem getting into your fucking email without having to do 5 different things and click on every picture you see a street pole in. You see what I'm saying? So for the most part, your privacy is no longer private. And Hillary and Obama's still are. So you see how smooth it was? You see how smooth they did that shit? Y'all fucked it. And then they use all y'all, the blind leading the blind content creators and shit like that, to have us on this polarized energy and shit like that. And they all in it together. Remember, Donald Trump just got a job. Joe Biden just got a job. Joe Biden. Shout out to Joe Biden. I'm going to say Joe Biden. He just got a job. They pray every night. They're praying to the motherfuckers who actually run the world. Do you understand? Do you understand? You see what I'm saying? So, for the most part, they get so fucking slick because they use this convenience and fear, aka create a problem and a solution, aka conquer and divide, aka make something seem important than what it is, then take it away from you, then give you this line of things to do, even to the Bible, in order to get that thing again. And they are the intellectual owners and properties, owner of that property, of that thing. So this is how they can just make y'all run around like chickens with no fucking heads. You know what I'm saying? Make y'all run around like chickens with no jam, boom, boom. Make y'all run around with motherfucking chickens with no motherfucking heads in this motherfucking shit, just lost in the goddamn sauce. And then you don't know how to do nothing else to get your power but to hate on somebody who looks just like you, and then that create a whole bunch of crumb energy, crab in the barrel energy, because you get all excited and wet off crumbs. Shit you can't do nothing with. All these crumbs, you can't go buy no whole neighborhood with it. All these crumbs, you can't take care of you and your family with it. You damn good, do damn good taking care of your goddamn self. And the shadow government don't give us no one-up like Mega Man. It ain't like you get good credit by paying your necessities. You only can get good credit by your ability to pay off things that you don't fucking need. So ain't that about a bitch? You should be able to get good credit by your ability to uphold your necessities. And just by you having the ability to uphold your necessities, that should be you being a good citizen and trustworthy enough to be able to accept a credit card to be able to obtain things you don't need, as you can step on to the next level of your life because you are trustworthy in the first part, the necessities, like your water bill, electric bill. But you know, they don't set things up like that. You know what I'm saying? They set shit up against you, and then every now and then motherfuckers around you that look just like you get lucky. They can cast stones at you like you ain't doing good enough because you're not in their way of the shadow government creating a circumstance to make the blind lead the blind for everybody to be in some global gang stalking type of energy, where the situation is just set up for it to be gang stalking, not them specifically singling people out. No, it's if you want to their heaven in this world, you automatically got to align yourself with their motherfucker witchcraft. You got to align yourself with their motherfucker blind leading the blind, their demonic world, their Squid Game shit. So you got to keep that in mind. These motherfuckers ain't shit. These motherfuckers ain't shit. And if you don't see the motherfucker witchcraft, that's why you lost. It's somewhere crying for liberation and respiration. And crying ain't what get you liberation. Creating a product is what get you liberation. Creating a product is what get you respiration, bitch. That's what get you liberation. So at the same time, you got to make sure you're not a demon on the internet based on the title. A better male bitch or a goddamn woman. A man without a woman or a woman without a man that's on the internet are fucking demons and fake woke, because they utilize terms like spirituality and other kind of contexts to muddy the waters. You know what I'm saying? To poison the well on what's actually going on behind closed doors. They're basically self-reflecting something that they lack. Something that they don't have, something that they want. And they're using this tactic to control their environment around them and try to make people think like them. And thinking like them leads you nowhere but looking like them, a complainer. You know what I'm saying? And you're really not even complaining about the thing that's actually the issue if you was to actually do shadow work. Thank you so much for the donation, Kentor Stevens. F-Pan. If Pan is the forerunner to the Christ Scorp, no, Pan is Jupiter. Pan is a correlation to Sagittarius. Pan is a correlation to the sun dying in Cancer. So that's why Jupiter is exalted there, and it has correspondences to Capricorn because it falls there, and the actual energies of it is the Pisces and the Jupiter house. And these are the as above, so below correspondence allegory to goddammit, Pan and his mother. And then the Masons who created that intellectual property gave the sheep mind Pan-Africanism and things of that nature. So anybody who's into Pan-Africanism worship Jupiter. They worship the Cancer tropic of how the shadow government left Egypt and left to the Western Hemisphere, and the sheep and the slaves that was over there in Egypt still was upset that their gods left, and they wanted their gods to come back because they didn't know how to survive and feed on their own. So they created a whole bunch of dumbass traditions and things of that nature, and that became the very early startings of the sheep coming up with the concept of their mind state, and the Masons giving them the name for it, Pan-African. But yeah. So, and keep that in mind too, because when you are a low-hanging fruit, you may think this has something to do with your race or whatever like that. But Pan-African, African don't mean black people. African, just like it's all races in America, it's all races in Africa. Whatever y'all calling black is not even a main race in Africa. So like that, I don't even understand what people even be talking about. You got Berbers over there. You got all kind of other motherfucking shit over there. So for the most part, Pan-Africanism just means knowledge, aka intellect, pan, that come from Africa. That's just what it means. When the shadow government was taking over the eastern continents. Like y'all be in so many filters. Thank you so much for the donation. I'm speaking to fake scholars right now. Y'all be in so much like bias, lost logics and shit. The way y'all even receive information to try to teach other individuals is lost. Like lostness. Complete lostness. The hieroglyphics, everything starts from the cuneiform and the hieroglyphics. And that's an as above, so below. The moment a person go deep, then try to make something simple, they lost in historiosity. They're trying to get lost in the race aspect of it, the people aspect, the event aspect, and the book and all these texts ain't from that starting point. It's from the as above, so below starting point. Then that other shit. So when a person be like, oh, y'all people are the dark, people are the black, the original starting point of correspondence is you're lost in your lower animalistic energies, your black suns, your dark chakras. You're playing out the as below energy of as above. When the stars become Hebrew, go to fall time, past the harvest season, go into fall and winter time. So we're seeing more dark time, right? So you are doing that. So you are a person of that star or that space. Then they start to categorize people and like that. After that, not the other way around. Oh, the first people was this, the first people was that, and stuff like that. And then they came up with the knowledge of the stars. No, it's a group of people came up with a science of how we live. Then we started to come up with the names and shit like that. Always remember that. So before we get lost in Pan-Africanism means we're going back to black people's tradition. No, it means Jupiter and the knowledge that the Masons was utilizing and was tracking the sun transits and shit like that in Africa. Then people who play out those virtues that those people who created the language and shit like that came up with, people who act out those damaged virtues be those people. And in those contexts, you still can't even get down into DNA and race, because it could be any group of people. You could all y'all in a geographical location, if y'all act a certain way, you are a term. It don't have anything to do with that term being a race. That's stupid. Thanks so much for the donation, Mike's Monopoly. You said, fam, it was a Taco Bell commercial where the shadow government Illuminati was mocking people who believed in it. They be using all their cartoons and shit like that and commercials. And that's how they structure us in the world to make us live. They come out with a collection of movies, cartoons, shows, commercials that has certain narratives. And when they be so popular, this the only thing that be on our mind to interact with each other. So it be like a low-key way of how they built our character for us to interact with each other. So these motherfuckers is low-key slick. You know what I'm saying? They slick. And if you don't catch it, you won't realize that your whole life you live in some type of 90s high school movie or some type of 90s high school TV show. And you was born in the 2000s right now. Your whole life is like a few TV shows in the 90s. Like, y'all don't know that. Like, it's deep. This world is fucked up all the way to the point that in school, they taught us about the 7 planets. That's wrong. It's 7 water cycles. That planet shit is this science and NASA's anthropomorphized allegories around shit that they can't prove. That ain't none of that shit. So for the most part, these motherfuckers is lost as goddamn hell. You know what I'm saying? And then they got us lost in this world because they try to conduct how we should live based upon Lucifer universe. You know what I'm saying? That it's the same shit. Science is universe. Religion is Lucifer. They got everybody following the light. So you could argue all you want. At the pinnacle of all y'all knowledges, from science, operative, universe, and religion, speculative, Lucifer. All of y'all are led to the light. So that lets you know a man had to be here to come up with that allegory of this is called light, and this the speculative meaning of light, and outside of us, astronomy wise, this the operative meaning of light. Some group of men and women came up with that. I hope you know that, right? Ain't no God spit out English out his breath. What the fuck? So for the most part, when you look at what's being practiced, even from formulating a language, they got all y'all following the light. Religious, your God is the light, and the universe, the Big Bang, is the light. And none of that ain't light. What the fuck is light? Now I'm saying we're seeing an event happen and something being produced. And that's what we're calling light. And then the starting point of what they make that mean is wrong. And what it is wrong. And all they concepts about it in the galaxy and the stars being in the galaxy, all that shit is wrong. So for the most part, they starting point is wrong. And that's how they got all y'all living down here. None of y'all got y'all own brain. Y'all only way of thinking about the world is what they give y'all. And that's when they got y'all. And then when you don't got no starting point, and then you looking at me as a starting point, and then let's say you in the same energy as me, you can only become a hater. But your way of becoming a hater don't do nothing but prove to God's children point. There's only 2 minds here. You can only use with the mind of this world to go against God's children mind, because God's children mind is the actuality of the world. We all make this world with our mind together. So I can only tell you what you already know. You can only go against that. And that by default makes it only 2 minds here. Whereas like if you kind of like getting your ego, you kind of look at me, well, I got my own mind. I can make up something new. It's too late. When I came up with something new, it's old at the same time because I'm Uriel. So I'm only reminding you what you already know. So I'm still teaching you, but it's enlightening you. We at the end in times. It's too late. Y'all took too long. Thanks so much for the donation, Kentor Stevens. You said it ain't no